Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the latest episode of South Park, Hummels and Heroin. And I thought this episode was okay. It was just a regular kind of episode of South Park. There were some things that worked in it and some things that didn't. And I think the main part of what didn't work was the Marcus character. And the whole thing with him being into finding the people responsible for the entertainers dying. I felt that it would have been a little bit funnier and a little bit more different if they'd probably done it with like some kind of other character, maybe like Butters or definitely Cartman would have made it a little bit more interesting because of how far he would go. Because Marcus, it just felt like there was nothing really going on with him. Just there for plot reasons because they needed someone to do it, but they were like, we don't know how to work it with anybody else, so here's this kid. So the episode starts off at Marcus's birthday, and everybody's milling around and everything. It's like, all right, we see his dad get up and be like, hey, we got his favorite entertainer here, Chuck E. Cheese, and he comes in, he's like stumbling high on opioids and all that, painkillers, and he's trying to do this guitar stuff and sing it, and then he like pukes inside of the helmet, and just the scene of like it coming out of like almost every orifice, and then him just like going down. I was like, holy shit. So of course we like have Marcus kind of like screaming and everything, and then they got the ambulance to take him away, and then the dad's like, hey, how about we go and do like the cake? And Marcus is like, this is not the time for cake, and starts kind of crying. And then of course we get the EMTs kind of like talking about what it is. Oh, it's the narcotics and everything, prescription drugs, and it's like, hey, it's probably coming from the prisons and all that because people are like thrown away by society and they kind of forget about them. So where do we go? The retirement home. And I thought that this part, kind of like just getting into like the opioid stuff and having it at a retirement home, was pretty well done. The only part that I really had a problem with was like the Marcus side of it. Everything else kind of like dealing with showing these retirement homes pretty much like prisons for old people was pretty, I liked how they did it. Like just seeing how everybody's kind of like getting like prison tattoos and everything. Seeing Stan coming in with a present for his dad and him getting like frisked and everything. It's like, oh, I just got a Hummel for my grandpa and everything. It's like, oh, okay, let him through. And they're like kind of talking about like, why are the old people infatuated with these little German statues? It's like, what the hell? So, of course, they, like, go through, he, like, finds his grandpa, and he's like, oh, you finally came to visit. And I'm like, yeah, I got the present you wanted. He opens it, it's like, okay. It's not exactly the right one. They look almost the same, but, okay, I need you to deliver another one of, Miss McGillicuddy's crochet pillows. And it's like, okay. And he's like, why do I have to keep doing this? He's like, come on. You need to do this. You don't understand how it works in here. And then, of course, we see that Ms. McGillicuddy is the top bitch in the place. And we got to do what she says or we pay the price. And, of course, everybody's kind of like scared of her, seeing everything. People going like, I don't want any trouble. And he's like, sorry, I'll get better Hummels. And, of course, we see Ms. McGillicuddy going into one of the person's rooms and closing the doors like, okay. So then we cut back and we see Stan on the corner with this pillow. And the other guys come up and like, hey, come on. We're going to go do fireworks at Kenny's house. Come on, let's do this. He's like, hold on, I got to wait for something. I got to do something for my grandpa. And he's like, what are these pillows for? What the hell's going on with it? And he's like, I don't know, it's just what he wants. I feel bad for him. He's like miserable. He's like, yeah, old people are supposed to be miserable, as Cartman calls out on. And it's like, Jesus. So, of course, he's supposed to exchange this for something, and this Fox person shows up, and it's this woman, and she's like, hey, you're Stan Marsh? And he's like, yeah, you're this dude? He's like, cool. So they switch out, and we see the Fox dude kind of like going by, and we're like, okay. Because it was this like limited edition one, and that they had to go to a birthday party. And like, alright, fine, this is kind of weird. Why do they like these Hummels so much? So, of course, we then get to the school, and Marcus is like addressing the crowd, talking about the whole opioid crisis, and how all of these entertainers have died, and of course how he loved Chuck E. Cheese, and of course he's talking about how they're getting all these things found in pillows and all that, and then I just love how it cut to the boys and see Stan, Kyle, and Cartman freak the fuck out. And of course, Marcus has pretty much roused all these people to like, alright, we gotta take control of this crisis. And everybody's cheering except them. They're like, oh my god, you're a drug dealer. It's like, what the fuck's going on? So, of course, we then see them in the bathroom and it's like, dude, what the fuck, Stan? Like, he's like, I didn't, and they're like, they didn't know. The Cartman, Kyle, and Kenny were like, listen, we didn't know, we gotta go to the cops and everything. And like, Stan's like, I didn't know either. And they're all trying to figure out kind of like what to do, like saying, oh god, you're the one responsible for these deaths and all that. It's like, holy shit. It's like, no, I'm not. And of course then Butters comes in and he's just like, hey fellas, and doing his usual Butters thing, going to the bathroom and all that. He's like, yeah, Marcus really got those kids on the warpath. Goodson was doing something about these goddamn drug dealers. And he pushes like, well, see you fellas, and walks out without washing his hands and everything. It's like, okay, we gotta turn in Stan's grandpa. And it's like, we don't need to. I'll talk to him. I'll put a stop to this. So, of course, we then get to Stan, and he's like saying, what the hell have you got me into, Grandpa? He's like, listen. We gotta keep doing this. Mrs. McGillicuddy's over there. She's got the best Humble collection. She's the top bitch. We have to do what she says. She's ruthless. She got them old lady farts, which then we get this gag of her, like, walking around doing the old lady farts where it's like, you're so loose that you don't even acknowledge that you farted. And it's like, it's alright. I mean, it's a fart joke, but I mean, it just kind of like wears out its welcome after a while, after it's being done. But once it's done in like another scene where we got like Randy and Sharon, it's kind of funny seeing their reaction to it, but it's not really that big. It's like, okay. And of course, she's pretty much trying to intimidate them, saying, oh, it'd be pretty bad if something happened to your grandpa or whatnot, or anything were happened to you, so just keep on doing what you're doing, alright? And it's just crazy seeing this old lady pretty much trying to shake them down and everything and just keep them doing what they're doing. And hate to see you suffer and everything, so don't want you in the quiet room, which it was funny that like solitary confinement, they were actually in a room by themselves playing solitaire. I thought that was a pretty good joke. And he's like, no, don't take me in there. I don't even know how to play solitaire. And it's like, oh shit. So they gotta watch out with that. Then we get to the coroner and we see Marcus trying to figure out what's killing everybody and what's going on. So of course, we then cut to the coroner like going on, buzz sawing off the helmet. And of course, the cop pukes at that. And the dude comes out and he's like, well, what can you tell me? Because the dude wouldn't let a kid in do an autopsy because, yeah, that'd be kind of freaky, even if it is this kind of like hyper-intelligent kid. So of course he comes out and says, like, yeah, these Hummels, all these people have Hummels in their asses. I don't get it. What the hell's going on with this? He's like, huh, okay. So we'll have to figure out what's going on with that. And then we get to Stan's house and like their family eating. He's like, guys, why can't Grandpa come home again? He why isn't he here? Why is he in that home? He's like, well, he's got a lot of needs that we can't provide for. And he's like, it kind of felt like we threw Grandpa away and forgot about him. He's like, we don't forget about him because I gotta make money to pay for the bills and everything. He's in stock. Imagine sitting doing anything but eat and watch TV. You go crazy and want to kill myself is what Stan says. I'm like, yeah. Jesus, it's not like a jail. It kind of is like jail. You should visit him. I can't because I'm too busy making money, busting my ass to pay his bills and pay for your guitar lessons. I don't have guitar lessons. Well, okay, I don't want to go because it's depressing. There, you tricked me. And then the cell phone, Stan gets hello. Kyle's like, dude, you gave Butters the pillow to drop off? And it's like, I didn't have a choice for the Hummels for my grandpa. And you could have done that without making Butters a drug dealer. And Butters is like, what? What the fuck's going on? Why am I a drug dealer? Alright, I think I know another way. So, of course, then we get to Shady Acres again, the retirement place, and keep seeing their lives again, giving the drugs to Ms. McGillicuddy. See this little girl visiting for her grandma, and the Hummel collection, all that stuff. She's got a lock and key and all that. And the boys are, like, buying Hummels to try and, like, get his grandpa good. We see a death row, which is the hospice place. I'm like, holy shit. Seeing them deliver the meds to the place just in a dump truck and dumping it on the ground. I was like, holy shit. And of course, we get to school. Marcus is the one, finally kind of like brings it up. Like, you've been buying a lot of Hummels. What's going on with you, Stan? He's like, listen, this is a lot deeper than you believe. And I know you like Chuck E. Cheese and all that, but you don't want to get involved. Alright? Any, like, this is too big for you. So, of course, we then get back to Shady Acres and we see Randy and Sharon kind of visiting him. Of course, he's like, well, I think we should be heading out. It's like, oh, you come here and you're going to leave in 10 minutes. And then, of course, he's like, oh, I know where Stan gets his guilt trips from. I was like, Jesus, dude. I mean, come on. Then, of course, Mrs. McGillicuddy comes in, pretty much like, oh, you got a lovely family here. And everyone. He's like, oh, you got these, like, lovely new Hummels. Almost smell brand new from the factory. And just, like, going around doing her part thing and seeing Randy be like, oh, God, this is disgusting. We're never coming here again. And she's like, you better not be playing tricks on me to get out of your responsibilities. You're not going to be giving Hummels no matter where they come from. And, of course, the big guys want more people addicted to the crochet pillows. You got it? Yeah, okay. And they're like, oh, Jesus. And the guys are on the couch. We then switch to them playing a video game and everything. It's Butters and Cartman. And, of course, Stan's like, I need you guys' help. And at first, they're like, no, we're not going to be doing it. No. And Kyle being like, no. Who's usually one of the first ones to kind of, like, be up and help Stan with this is like, no, not doing it. We're not getting involved. Same with Cartman. And he's, like, standing in front of the TV. He's like, listen. What's your idea? What's going on? How do you think you're going to get it? He's like, well, the Hummels control it, so we're going to steal them and give them to my grandpa. Even if we wanted to help, which we don't, how would you sneak in to distract old people? And he's like, oh, wait, I kind of know a way. Yeah, I could actually help you with this. And then Kyle's like, listen, I thought we were not going to get involved. Listen, I need you to know how to distract old people. And of course, Kyle's like, ah, shit. So, of course, then we see Marcus, and he gets called. Another entertainer's going down, and he gets on his way over there. And of course, he's able to get the old people out of the entertainer as they, like, die, pretty much. So, okay. So, of course, we get to the reception, and we see the boys come in. Now, we only see 4 of them, with Butters included. We don't see Stan. And it's like, oh, how can I help you? We're a children's choir here to entertain the old people. Didn't think scheduled. So you're a Protestant youth group? And Cartman's like, yes, we're young prostitutes. Here to volunteer, however we can. Fine, round them up. We got another kids choir coming up. And then we see a shot of the hall, and it's like, alright, everybody, we got a kids thing here. And everyone's like, oh, damn it, shit. And I'm like, come on, just go. And then we see him playing what's considered old songs, like Insane in the Membrane, My Milkshake, like Nirvana, and like these 90s things. I'm like, damn, that's crazy that they would think that that's old songs. It's like, so this is what they're doing to pretty much distract everybody while Stan gets in and pretty much sees the collection and is pretty much getting everything out. He's able to pick it and pretty much starts taking the Hummels. And then, of course, Marcus comes in and pretty much is like, I got you now, and takes a picture of him, pretty much trying to get him dead to rights. He's like, listen, this is for my grandpa. It's like jail. If you call the police, fine, but it's too big, Marcus. We got to get the people that are bigger here. And I know you love Chuck E. Cheese, but we've got to do this right. And then, of course, Marcus starts breaking down and crying, and Stan hugs him, and he's like, got him on his side. Like, listen, you can shut this whole place down, but it's the bigger people that you really need to go after. So, of course, we still see the kids singing and pretty much trying to keep them entertained as much as possible. And, of course, we get to the part where the old people are, like, going away and everything, and they're like, you kids are awful. And, of course, she gets back to her room and sees them all gone. We see that Stan shows to his grandpa all these Hummels that he's got. He's like, yeah, now you're the top bitch. And then Ms. McGillicuddy comes in, she's pissed. And he's like, yeah, why do these have such a special power over you? He's like, yeah, I think I can use this. And then takes the sack and starts beating the shit out of Ms. McGillicuddy and her two lackeys. And everyone's like cheering and everything. And he like beats the shit out of her. So, of course, they're like, oh my god. And Cartman's like, yeah, that's pretty sweet. So, of course, we're at the old folks' home again. Ms. McGillicuddy is getting taken into the quiet room. I'm kind of pissed off about that. She's like, alright, so how are we going to take down the people that are really behind this improper work? She's like, don't worry, we've got that. And then we see this like pharma convention with the doctors and all that. And Marcus comes in and he's like, I got some questions for you guys. So that's where the episode ends. Overall, I like the Stan and the boys portion, dealing more with the old folks' home than the Marcus portion and the entertainers. I felt that it could have been done a little bit better, but I still enjoyed it as an overall South Park episode, getting some good Cartman moments, some good Stan moments, and of course Butters being Butters. So I think that the main portion that needed work was Marcus's character and involvement, and trying to work a little bit better the Mrs. McGillicuddy old lady farts kind of thing, because it just ran a little bit too long, a little bit in my opinion. But overall, I enjoyed the episode. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.